It's like it's 160.
Yes.
We're all here. Is it just the top page, Ms. Diane, or everything?
All right, you ready? All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
It is 6 o'clock, so the work session for mayor and council for May 16th is called to order. And before we go into the roll call, I will read our mission statement. And the mission statement is as follows. It is the mission of the City of Forest Park to enhance, strengthen, and grow our city by collaborating with the community to provide the highest level of service, striving to be recognized as a diverse community that values and respects all members. We will strive to provide fair, professional, and courteous service through transparency and open communication. As we work to achieve this mission, we will have integrity beyond reproach while employing fiscal discipline and innovation. In this work, there are no praises and raises for mediocrity. Ms. White, can we have our roll call, please?
Roll call for today, May 16th. Councilmember Kimberly James. Councilmember Anton.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Councilmember Gutierrez.
Yeah, President, good evening.
Councilmember Aiken Wells.
Here.
Councilmember Mears.
Here.
Mayor and council, you have a quorum.
All right, thank you. City Manager's report. Dr. Cooper, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. City Manager's report from May 16th, 2022. The Mayor and City Council of the City of Forest Park will hold meetings to receive public comments on the proposed fiscal year 2022-2023 budget on Monday, May 23rd, 2022 at 5 p.m. And our second public meeting will be held on Monday, June 6th, 2022 at 7 p.m. These meetings will be held right here in the City Hall Council Chamber, and the proposed budget will be posted on the city's website no later than Wednesday, May 18th. City of Forest Park is now offering online electronic permitting services in our building permits. Thank you, Mr. Shelby and his team. This means you can now electronically apply for, submit payments, and print payments without ever coming into the permit office. The new service is intended to save time and effort while efficiently ensuring permits in the city of Forest Park and permit applications and other permitting documents can be found on the City of Forest Park's website under permit systems. Takes less than 10 minutes to register. So once a payment is made and processed, the permit will be emailed to the email that's on file with the contractor or property owner. And typically, if all of your documents, notice we say if all of your required documents are submitted with the application, you will receive your permit within 1 to 3 business days. So council, this is an extremely efficient process that cuts down a lot of time for our businesses in the community receiving their permits. The City of Forest Park will be hosting our Community Field Day event featuring the 2002 Forest Park High School Senior Caravan on Sunday, May 21st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Kiwanis Stadium. So that's this Saturday, everybody. And we want you to bring the whole family out. There's going to be bounce houses, tug of war, obstacle courses, relay races, food trucks, and much more. We've been trying to find some people to put in the dunk tank, but I don't think we're going to be able to get nobody. Nobody want to get their hair messed up right now. On Wednesday, May 11th, City Council member, Ward 3, Hector Gutierrez, I can't think right now. And I met with former Chicago Congressman Luis Gutierrez regarding his efforts to enhance diversity and encourage voter registration and civic participation among immigrants and minorities in the city of Forest Park. Congressman Gutierrez is developing a nationwide 501c3 aimed at providing guidance, training, and some funding to municipalities in this effort. He was really impressed with our recent advances with inclusion and embracing diversity in the city. So we do look forward to working with Councilman Gutierrez on his efforts. Under operation, we are posting our monthly Champions of Forest Park series featuring our community stakeholders on why they believe Forest Park is on the move. So please visit the website and see our latest posting. Last things I have is congratulations to the Secretary of State's Student Ambassadors. And this is a program managed by the Georgia Secretary of State's office and our very own Clayton County Public School District 13 and the Walking in Authority Teen Council District 5 under the direction of former council member Sparkle Adams have won for winning the first place in their respective districts. The Secretary of State launched the Student Ambassador Program for high school students, and it's a leadership training program for 10th to 12th graders to encourage civic participation in voters. And lastly, I would personally like to commend all the City of Forest Park staff. This has been a challenging year as the city manager of Clayton County's largest city. And I want to personally thank each of you for your support, flexibility, and willingness to change and be part of the evolution of our city, taking our city to that next level. We're committed to and willing and will continue to go through a lot of transition where we work on updating our policies, processes, and procedures, correct our operations, and streamline our functions to elevate our city, as you see, with our permitting process. So I'll be the first to admit that everything has not gone smoothly nor been perfect, but I do want to commend everyone on their efforts for doing everything they can every day to make the city of Forest Park as close to perfect as it can get for our residents. They deserve nothing less than our best in these efforts. So again, to all the City of Forest Park staff, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do every day. And let's continue to move the City of Forest Park forward. Last thing I have, Madam Mayor, is we have some new staff that we are going to introduce. Ms. Barkley?
Good evening.
Got to speak in the mic, I'm sorry.
We have 2 new employees with the finance department. They both come from other government entities. And that's Aisha Matthews, and she comes from Fulton County government. And Natasha McGill, she comes from the State Department of Treasury. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you, Ms. Barkley. And Madam Mayor, that's the city manager's report.
Excellent. Well, welcome aboard, ladies. Up next, we have a presentation from ADP on payroll processing. So you both have the floor. Oh, wait, well, background and history. The city manager is looking to bring a managed payroll service to the city to help improve payroll processing efficiency, ensure continuity, and help mitigate compliance risk. It was documented in the city's 2020 audit that the city's payroll is currently processed in-house on a weekly basis, including printing and distribution of all payroll checks. There is currently only one finance department employee trained on how to process payroll. The recommendation from the auditors was that the city should research the cost, time, and risk benefits of procuring a third-party vendor to manage payroll processing and dissemination. All right, you have the floor.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, to the council. Excuse my voice. Obviously, I had a good weekend. We are excited to have been invited here today. My name is Ebony Irvin. I'm a district manager with ADP, with the organization for about 2 years. First of all, I want to say a special thank you to Dr. Cooper, Shakita Barkley, and Ms. Shalonda Brown for inviting us here tonight. I'll let Reagan Daly introduce himself.
I don't know if I need the microphone, but maybe I probably do. My name is Reagan Daly. I've been with ADP 19 years. I've been here in Georgia for the last 4 years. The bulk of my career has been in the state of Texas, but I've covered a lot of places across the country. And my family and I moved here 4 years ago, and we're really excited to be here with y'all tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you guys want to go ahead and move aside. So just to kind of give you guys an idea, ADP pays 1 in 5 Americans. We are a trusted partner with the government. We invest billions of dollars every year into our research and development so that we can be the premier payroll and HR services to folks like yourselves. One done. So we help our clients in 3 key areas. First of all, people and support. We want to help you maximize your human capital management investment, make your HR team more strategic, as well as lessen the burden of the day-to-day administrative tasks, help you align with your operations to the city's goals to help you increase productivity. As far as outsourcing and tools, we increase automation, streamline your HCM administration end to end, as well as enhance security and business continuity. As far as HCM technology, we'll be able to provide you with a foundation that is over the entire life cycle of an employee. You want to go to the next slide? So I'll walk through briefly just our breadth of capabilities available in the Workforce Now platform. Given ADP's heritage, it's no surprise that our platform was created specifically for HR and payroll record keeping. From there, that HCM capabilities has emerged that directly ties into one system of record, a single database, meaning when things change in one area of the platform, it immediately covers or immediately changes into the others. So that's from recruitment to onboarding, screening and selection, payroll and tax filing, benefits administration, additional capabilities like compensation, performance management, as well as time and labor, HR recruiting, analytics, benchmarking, and not to mention retirement. You want to go to the next slide? Some of the key benefits that we offer is an all-in-one solution. That means we manage all of your people and functions across the entire platform. Confident compliance, meaning that our industry-leading security will keep your data safe. Ease of use, it matches makes it easy to work in ways that fit within your operating system, as well as everything being at your fingertips. Insights in the flow of work helps you make decisions with confidence. And last but not least, an integrated and connected ecosystem that helps broaden your people management capabilities with the largest HR ecosystem that connects with your external partners, including accountants, brokers, et cetera. I'll go ahead and let Reagan speak on what the proposed solution is for the city. Thank you.
Thanks, Ebony. So not only is the city going to get access to the Workforce Now platform, like Ebony just walked you through, but one of the things that we found as we did our due diligence with the city was that you are looking for a managed pay platform. So if you go back, you don't have to move the slides, but one of the things that Ebony talked about was people and support. One of the things that we're going to be able to bring to the table is actually offloading some of the payroll process for the city, and ADP take on that responsibility so that the people in the back office can focus on the things that they need to focus on from a strategic perspective. Recruiting, training, development, making your employees better so that they can better service the community that they serve, right? So with comprehensive pay, you're gonna, and I don't necessarily know that I need to read all the bullet points up there, but you're gonna have a dedicated payroll specialist that works with your back office team to process your payroll. We're gonna outline, and I'll show you in a little bit more detail in just a second, what a standard operating procedure looks like. One of the benefits of that standard operating procedure is, should you ever decide that you want to come off of the comprehensive pay platform to just use ADP technology, or let's say down the road, you decide, hey, ADP is not the partner that we want to be with, those standard operating procedures that we create with you are yours to keep for forever, right? So you will have that business continuity for, this is how we do things here for an ongoing basis, okay? We are going to help you with all of the aspects around processing your payroll, ensuring that it's correct, running audit reports, and I'll show you a little bit more about that here in just a second, but running audit reports to make sure that everything looks good before we actually hit the process payroll piece, because we need to make sure everybody gets paid appropriately, right? That's number one, most important thing that we need to do. And then there's a couple of other things that we're going to do for you as well. You're going to have a strategic relationship manager aligned to your organization. I'll talk a little bit more in detail in just a second about that. This is your partner. We have clients leverage that relationship manager to sit on executive meetings as people say, hey, this is something that we're thinking about doing down the road. This relationship manager can talk to you about the best practices, how to best roll out programs for your employees. They'll take best practices across all of our ADP clients and share those with you on how to roll certain things out. So it's been a really nice strategic advantage for all of our clients. And then a couple of other things that you're going to have during open enrollment time. We're going to have a dedicated open enrollment specialist working with your organization. Open enrollment is a tough time of year for a lot of people. There's a lot going on, and we want to make sure that that thing goes off without a hitch, leveraging the technology to do the job more efficient, more effective. So you'll have somebody dedicated to your account to do that. And then we're also going to supply you with a wage and hour compliance solution to where you can bounce ideas off of and through this compliance portal versus having to go to an employment attorney or something like that. This is just a extra layer of support from a compliance perspective. If you want to go to the next slide. One of the biggest costs to any organization is labor costs, right? And so having a tool that you can manage your employees' labor to make sure that you're paying them appropriately and effectively is really important. It's also important when you work with the city that you have a robust system that's going to also work with your fire and police with all of the different ins and outs that come with the strains of those jobs from a scheduling perspective and things like that. So you're going to have a what we call workforce manager. It's our time and attendance solution that works seamlessly with our payroll platform to ensure that your people are paid appropriately. The next slide. I wanted to explain a little bit about what we're going to do from a payroll perspective. And so when you look at an organization that does things in-house, all of these items here on this slide are things that you have to do to process your payroll, right? It's tedious. There's a lot of, and it's really something that not a whole lot of people pat you on the back for doing a great job running payroll, but they expect you to run payroll great. So, but there's a lot of tedious tasks on this. If you go to the next slide, what you'll see is everything in beige is what ADP is going to be taking off of your plate and doing so that you can focus on the more strategic aspects of your job and driving development and engagement with your teams, and some of the things that Dr. Cooper talked about in his update. So the things in blue are things that are still going to be asked of the organization to handle. A lot of it is just review some reports that we're going to provide you. There is an element of making sure your new hires are in the system, that you terminate employees that need to be terminated, and that you're updating their direct deposit information and things like that. Everything else is really just review. If you'll go to the next slide. I touched on the relationship manager briefly just a second ago. So again, this is a strategic partner to your organization that can sit down alongside you as you make decisions or want to roll out different programs and ideas in the city. They can share with you best practices. They can help drive technology optimization to ensure that the system gets fully deployed. A lot of times in our world, when organizations implement our solutions, they get tired sometimes as they get through implementation. Okay, it's a hard task. It's difficult. Like, I'm not going to try to sugarcoat that and say it's super easy. If you ever talk to a payroll provider that says it's turnkey and easy, they're not being honest with you. It's hard work. Okay, we're going to come alongside you to help you deploy the technology and ensure that every aspect of the technology that you purchased gets up and deployed, and that you're leveraging it so that you can realize the benefits of the system. Our relationship manager is going to take ownership of that to ensure that that happens. They can help you from, driving culture. How can we, roll out, like I said earlier, some different programs that we might want to do if we want to, we have companies say, hey, we want to throw out, some kind of bonus structure for employees. How have you leveraged something like this with some of your other clients? They can sit down and share with you best practices and ways that they deployed that. If you go to the next slide, this is the payroll specialist. This person will be your dedicated payroll person that will help you with all things payroll. Okay, so they are your asset to leverage. They're going to collaborate with you to make sure that they understand your process and how you do things. And then they're going to work with you when it comes time to pay your people. This next slide is something that every one of your employees and your managers are going to have access to. We're really proud of this. This is called My Life Advisors. It's a call center that your employees and managers can call into. It's open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All of the things listed up there, whether it's direct deposit updates, W-4 state withholdings, W-2s, reprints, pay time off questions. This is an asset to you and your organization that your employees can use to get questions answered in a timely fashion. And again, a lot of times when we're talking to organizations, some of the people in the back office, especially when it's lean, can get bogged down answering a lot of these questions and not getting done with the strategic aspects of the organization or what the strategic things that the organization wants them to have done, right? So your employees and managers will all have access to this. Next slide. This is an example of what I was referring to as a standard operating procedure. In this event, it's for a stop payment or a reversal of a check. As you can see, we map out the process. We do this with you so that it's in your language and your terms and the way that y'all talk on a day in and day out basis. We'll go through client specifics, overview and timing of how it's done, what tools we need to use, roles and responsibilities of who's going to do it, the process details, and then what reports do you have access to be able to generate, an audit in terms of what we just did. So we'll do that for all aspects of your payroll process. And then these are the reports that we generate from an audit perspective to ensure that everything that we've done is good and accurate, and we'll share those with you as well so that you can have confidence and faith in the work that we've done on your behalf to ensure that your people are paid appropriately. And then lastly is the price. So this is broken out in a couple of different areas. The top area, up at the top where it says comp payroll, we call it comp payroll for short. It's comprehensive payroll. That piece, when you add up the total line, it's $141,000 annually. From a time and attendance perspective, it's that second group down underneath where it says time and attendance. What we've priced out there is we've priced out the access to our software, 6 clocks, and what we call quick punch that we add to the clocks to make it just quick and easy for your employees to clock in and out. That totals up to just over $48,000 for an all-in number of $190,000, 164. And then I think right below that is our implementation fees, right? The total implementation for us to come alongside you and do all of this work is a little over $42,000, $42,500. What we are proposing is that we're going to have that paid out over 24 months at a 0% interest. And that is all I have. If there's any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments?
Is there an app or a like clock in app option?
We do have the ability to use an app to clock in and out. Yes.
And that's included?
It is included. It just depends on if the organization wants to do that. If the city decides that's something that they want to do, we can turn that functionality on.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I'm trying to, I didn't,
I'm trying to hear exactly what.
I'm sorry, I didn't know if it was a question for the city manager or you guys, because I think it's what you want. So I'm just trying to.
I hope
see-
we can.
I'm just trying to see, like, if we kept the same timing system that we had now, is that possible? Could we do that? Just asking.
Yeah, it's really not the way that our system works together with
Okay.
the other time and attendance technology. Sometimes there's a lot of challenges in that.
Okay,
And then the other thing that you run into when you have those two different systems, sometimes different softwares don't work well together in terms of transferring data. And so what happens in the back office is you create a siloed environment where I have to update this system with all the new hires, and then I have to update this system with all the new hires. And then when somebody terminates, I have to terminate here and I have to terminate
Right.
there,
Okay.
right? So with this, to Ebony's point earlier, this talks to each other. So when you do one thing in one, it's going to do it in the other.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things we did discuss at the budget retreat, Councilwoman, when we were discussing like some of the payroll things we were having with double counts and different things of that nature. This kind of eliminates that. So it would be replacing the semi-manual system we have now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Any other questions or comments? I'm excited, but thank you guys very much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate the opportunity.
Thank
Thank
you, sir.
you.
Y'all did make a good team together. You buttered us
Thank
up
you
and
very
then you
much.
came with the dunk.
Hey, when I moved here 4 years ago, she's one of the best hires that I've made, right? So that's true.
Excellent. New business. Council discussion on the approval rental inspection program ordinance amendment. Background and history. The city council recently approved the rental inspection ordinance. We have received feedback from the Georgia Municipal Association regarding aspects of the ordinance. This amendment addresses the feedback by clarifying that the ordinance A does not create a registry of rental properties, and B provides for the city's inspection of rental properties upon probable cause that code violations may exist. All other portions of the ordinance, including the required annual inspection of properties, are substantially the same as previously adopted. Any questions or comments on this item? Item 3, council discussion on the transfer of vacant property, 954 Main Street, Forest Park, Georgia. Background and history. Consideration of a request to transfer the vacant property located at 954 Main Street, formerly Carter's Cleaners, from the city of Forest Park to the Downtown Development Authority Board. The purpose is to move forward with redeveloping the location into a catalyst site that aligns with the vision and goals of the city to develop a downtown entertainment district. Are there any questions or comments on this item? Item 4, council discussion on approving the repair. Council discussion on approving the repair of the Tower 1 pump. Okay, background and history.
To the Tower 1.
I was gonna get it. Background and history. The fire department is requesting council approval for the repair of our 1998 E1 aerial tower 1 pump. This truck has been out of service because the pump has operationally failed. The aerial is a necessary firefighting component to mitigate emergencies that are beyond the capability of our fire engines. The cost to replace an aerial range between $1.3 million to $1.7 million. Cost to rehab an aerial range between $500,000 to $800,000. Since this is the only aerial in the city, it is imperative to increase the longevity by replacing the pump for in-service operations. This item is on the capital improvement plan for future replacement. Aerial apparatus means a fire department vehicle which is equipped with a power-operated extension ladder or elevating platform used for rescue, ventilation, elevated master streams, and gaining access to upper levels, and which carries ground ladders, tools, and other equipment. It is designed to maximize vertical reach for rapid response, ventilation, extinguishment, and rescue operations. Aerial vehicles provide more than just height. Besides potentially rescuing people above the reach of ground ladders, they provide elevated streams, horizontal reach to buildings where road access and terrain create problems, and roof access when adequate personnel are not available to hoist ground ladders. These are just a few examples. They exist with special rescue scenarios, help with certain overhaul and salvage operations, and even help with EMS. They are also used to remove heart attack victims from rooftops. Thank you for your consideration.
Question.
Splinter, I have a splinter. I have a
Oh.
splinter, so I'm trying to take it out. She's got distracted.
So, with this being, an emergency and something that's needed in the city, is there any way, and maybe this is a question for Mike or Cooper, is there any way that instead of spending that $500,000 to $800,000 to go ahead and replace it, and then that money be later taken out of the capital improvement?
Well, actually, this is actually to repair the pump is only about 60,000. So this is only a cost of 60,000. The 500 to 800,000 is to actually just revamp an entire aerial, and
Mhm.
1.3 million is a new. I know that we have it in the capital improvement plan that we will be looking at for this budget year, but it's not to replace it this year. It's more so to move it down. But right now, the 60,000 would be needed to actually do the repair of the pump.
Okay.
So we'll have two.
No, we won't have two. We'll have the one we have. It'll be repaired. But the pump will be repaired. But then I think we put it in 23-24 budget to actually do a replacement.
Oh, okay. Any other questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
Item-
I got a question. Is there anything other than the pump that needs to be refurbished that we could get done while we have the
I'll
pump
bring the
down?
Chief Clemens.
Can you put this in layman's terms for me, Chief, what this is, like the pump and this the thing?
So the aerial truck is our 95-foot elevated platform. It's our aerial ladder. It's the only aerial truck in the city. It has had some issues. I remember bringing it up at the first budget retreat. I do have a stack of maintenance that it's been under. But currently the pump has been out. The truck has been out of service for more than 5 months. And I can tell you the fire that we just had last week on Thurman and Rock Cut, we could have used that for elevated Master Street. We fought that fire from 4 to 2 a.m. and then we had to rekindle the next morning. So without that ladder to penetrate the roof and extinguish that fire quicker than 10 hours, that caused an issue. Yes, it has some other issues. That's why I put in the council agenda what it would take to rehab that truck. We bought that truck as a demo back in '98 for $540,000. 500,000, sorry.
Well, and I'm sorry, Chief.
Yeah.
I just got to say, Council, we found that out with a lot of our equipment from not only fire, police, but even public works. Historically, the city would go out and buy a lot of the demos.
Yeah.
And used equipment because it was cheaper to buy, but you see why it's cheaper, because you're putting more money in it
Fix it.
than you would to replace it. So we are trying to strategically plan to replace a lot of the major equipment within the city, but just as with any other city, we also have to be very cautious on how we budget and how we plan to move this money around to purchase items as we go along. So this is not unique to fire. This is actually a citywide issue that has happened in fire, police, public works, and some other departments where we have heavy equipment that we had to use.
Well, with this, with it being, I mean, I guess to me, since you mentioned that fire, with it being like life and death, and this is like something that we really need, it's no way to put it, move something around so that it could be on the next budget, because this, like, that's a very important.
Well, when we look at it this year, the current capital improvement budget that's currently being proposed to council is about 1.9 million. And that's kind of spreading that 1.9 million over all the departments. And as you know, that was increased at the budget retreat by council. So if you're looking at that, you know, if you start moving things around and you start taking things out, you're gonna have other things in other departments. And I agree, this is life or death, but there are also other things in other departments that are life or death, even with the aerial truck hydraulics with Public Works. You know, these are the hydraulic trucks that you see the gentleman up, putting up the Christmas lights. Now, is it a fire related? No, but we definitely don't want our staff going up in a truck that could fail. You know, and again, this was a truck that was purchased as a demo. So we tried to kind of spread that out, but at the budget meeting, I mean, council can make that decision, sure, to move whatever they would like, but that's just, you know, how we had to go about planning.
I get it. I just would hate for it to be a tall building and somebody trapped inside, and we could have had that equipment but didn't, you know, so.
Well, and again, it's not that we won't have, we'll have one. The pumper's gonna be replaced, and yes, it does have other issues that we have to continuously maintain until that next year's budget, where we can actually commit those funds to actually purchase a brand new unit.
How much, what's the difference? So if we were to do the revamp, it's what, 800, it can be from 500 to 800,000
Mhm.
to revamp
Talk
it
about
up?
almost double the cost.
Yeah, but
Could be.
let's say if we revamp it, how soon would we maybe have to revamp it again?
Oh,
How long would that last?
10 years?
Now, if I think it's adequate to just replace the pump. I know fiscally, to be fiscally responsible for the city, it's adequate to replace the pump. I believe that we can move forward with next year's budget cycle to discuss purchasing a new aerial. But that'll be discussion that I'll have the city manager and the council to approve. But at least getting the pump in service. And if we have any other issues to maintain, we work that through Public Works.
And answer your question, Councilman, you know, really, even when it's like buying a used car. You know, you put all this money into it, you put all this work into it, and you say, okay, I think I have a car that should last me for another 10 years, and you drive off the lot and it falls apart. So you really don't know when you put the money into it, how long it's gonna last and how long it's going to go there. But like I said, if we get the pump repaired, we have an aerial in the city or the fire department to use, and we just look at this next budget year to replace the area, because we're gonna need fire trucks and
They're underway.
yeah, we're gonna need all of those things. And these pieces of equipment are not cheap by no means. And as you see, this area is 1.7 million, and you know, you could get fire trucks up to almost 2 million in some cases, depending on what you get on.
And that's just the truck, not the equipment.
That's not the equipment, right?
Well, do they do the pump here, or we have to send the truck off, or how do we do that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to send it off. We already have everything worked out, just waiting on your approval.
Oh, okay, well, let's stop talking then.
As soon as you give me the go, we're gone.
Go.
Okay,
They're literally waiting at the light.
thank you. Are there any other questions or comments?
So we're gonna replace the pump. We're not gonna revamp, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I want to know, because
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Chief.
Item 5, council discussion on approval of American Rescue Fund line item reallocation. Background and history. On September 7th, 2021, the governing body approved $200,000 for residential tree removal home improvements through the American Rescue Funds pending legal review. The Public Works Department is seeking approval to have these funds reallocated for the removal of trees on city property. Any questions or comments?
yeah, what does that mean?
We were unable to use it for the
Private
initial
property.
intended purpose, well, for private property.
Okay, so does this mean, like, I'm not sure I'm the only one having these issues in my ward on city property where trees are about to fall and the city can't take, so they would be able to?
Yes,
Keep
and
that
actually, I
balance.
think 2 trees in your ward on that. list to
Ye-
be cut.
Okay.
Any other
Okay.
questions or comments?
Mm-mm.
Item 6, council discussion on hosted VoIP phone solution. Background and history. Windstream currently provides the phone circuits for our existing phone system. They just provided notice to the city that due to changing economic conditions and the current costs to provide services residing on this platform in the territories noted with herein will be discontinued. As the only carrier of our phone lines, this disconnection would impact all city phones. Our current on-premises phone systems is antiquated and in need of major upgrades, and I have requested funding in the new fiscal year, which has not yet been approved, to upgrade to a hosted voice over IP system. Now that Windstream is discontinuing our phone circuits, we need to implement a new phone system ASAP to avoid the loss of city phones. We have been very happy with the support and service from our existing phone provider, Carousel, and are requesting we implement their hosted phone solution, which includes migration services, hosting, as well as new phones for all users. They are also offering 3 months free of service, so we would not be billed for the reoccurring cost until the new fiscal year, but would need to pay for the migration and implementation out of this year's budget, which was not something the city currently budgeted for. Any questions or comments on this?
Madam Mayor, I just want to let council know that although this was not budgeted, we have identified the funds to cover the cost of this. The total contract, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Cox, is 60,000, but this migration that we have to pay for is only 5.
That's great. The total 1-year cost is about 65,000. So 60,000 for the recurring costs over the course of a year and a little over 5,000 for the migration implementation.
And so we have identified the source of funds for this.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Uh,
Thank you. And we do not have any executive session. The remaining agenda for the regular session will be as follows. We'll have the call to order at 7, followed by invocation by Dr. Payton. Then we'll have our roll call, and then we'll have the following presentations: a proclamation for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a proclamation declaring May 21st, 2022 as Forest Park High School Seniors Day. Afterwards, we'll have our public comments. Then we will adopt tonight's agenda. Then we'll have the approval of our regular and for May 2nd.
Work session.
Okay. Then we'll have the following new items for consideration: council approval of the rental inspection program ordinance amendment 22-09, council approval of the transfer of vacant property 954 Main Street in Forest Park, Georgia. We will have item 6, council approval to repair the Tower 1 pump. Item 7, council approval of American Rescue Fund line item reallocation. And item 8, council approval on hosted voice over IP phone solutions. And then we'll have our closing comments by the governing body. If there's no other items to discuss right now, is there a motion to adjourn the work session?
So move.
All right, that was Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Wells, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We will. PM. It is 7 o'clock, so the regular session for mayor and council for May 16th is called to order. Before we have our invocation, I am going to read our mission statement, which is as follows. It is the mission of the City of Forest Park to enhance, strengthen, and grow our city by collaborating with our community to provide the highest level of service, striving to be recognized as a diverse community that values and respects all members. We strive to provide fair, professional, and courteous service through transparency and open communication. As we work to achieve this mission, we will have integrity beyond reproach while employing fiscal discipline and innovation. In this work, there are no praises and raises for mediocrity. At this time, I would like Dr. Payton to come to the podium for tonight's invocation. So all those who are able to stand, can you please do so and then remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you now for this time and place that you have allowed us to come to do business on behalf of this city. God, we thank you for the mayor and all of the council people, the city manager, all of the people who make up the city to make it work, to make it function. God, thank you for the progress that's been made, the businesses that are coming, the job that's coming. Thank you, God. Now, Lord, even as we assemble tonight, we pray, we invoke your presence here, and we pray, God, that the agenda will go smoothly. We pray, God, that you will get the glory out of what is done tonight. It is in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Ms. White.
Roll call for this evening's regular meeting. Councilmember James, Councilmember Anton,
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Councilmember Gutierrez,
Present.
Councilmember Aiken Wells,
Here.
Councilmember Mears.
Here,
Mayor and council, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Our first proclamation is for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, background and history. Mayor and council to present to Asian American and Pacific Islanders of the City of Forest Park a proclamation recognizing Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Is there someone here that did that? Okay. Okay, so the proclamation is as follows. Whereas Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month is observed in the United States during the month of May as a way to recognize the numerous contributions made by Asian Americans and Pacific Islander Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of our nation. And whereas the effort to officially recognize Asian American and Pacific Islander contributions to the United States began in the late 1970s and took over 10 years to make it a permanent month-long celebration. And whereas Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders have played a significant role in American culture and society, including in the fields of science and medicine, literature, art, sports, government, and politics and activism. And whereas a recent report from the Pew Research Center finds that Asian Americans are the fastest growing racial or ethnic group in the United States, bringing renewed attention to the growing economic and social influence of Asian communities. And whereas the City of Forest Park is proud to represent its growing Asian American and Pacific Islander community and acknowledges the values and cultural traditions that have helped shape our diverse community. Now, therefore, it be it resolved that the City of Forest Park do hereby recognize the month of May as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and reaffirms its commitment to equality and inclusion, while also fully embracing all individuals of Asian descent. Yes, thank you, Councilman Gutierrez, for putting that together. One more I'll be reading. Is there someone here from Forest Park High School? No. Bobby, you went to Forest Park High School? Oh, well then yes, this is partly.
I was 3. I was 3 when we were graduating high school. I might be
Oh,
his.
Elliot, you too? Oh, excellent. Well, this is for you two. And we'll take pictures later.
Right there, Holcomb too. Holcomb too, okay.
David Hope
Really?
there.
Oh, wow. Alan, where'd you go?
Well, I didn't go, my wife
Oh,
went
no? Okay,
He didn't make it.
okay, okay.
64.
Oh, okay. All right. It's Councilwoman James, her daughter, I think, graduated today, so she's unable to be with us. So this is also partly for her as well. But the proclamation is as follows. Forest Park High School, home of the Mighty Panthers, is located at 5452 Phillips Drive in Forest Park, Georgia, and is a part of the Clayton County Public Schools. And whereas members of the Forest Park High School senior class of 2022 have been recognized for their outstanding achievements, both in and out of the classroom, as it pertains to academics, athletics, fine arts, work-based learning opportunities, and community activism. And whereas seniors from Forest Park High School were encouraged by educators and faculty members to develop positive qualities such as leadership, values, tolerance, personal responsibility, and an appreciation for diversity within the school and out in the community. And whereas after graduation, many individuals from the class of 2022 will go on to attend college, enlist in the military, obtain meaningful employment, join a service organization, or even decide to start their own business. And whereas family members, friends, educators, residents, and community partners should all join together in congratulating the Forest Park High School senior class of 2022, while also acknowledging the hard work, determination, and pride exhibited by these bright young adults. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the City of Forest Park do hereby recognize May 21st, 2022 as Forest Park High School Seniors Day and wishes the entire class of 2022 nothing but success as they all move forward in the next chapter of their lives. Yes. Public comments. We have one. Ms. Coco Chanel Williams. And you have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good
My name is
evening.
Coco Chanel Williams. I'm the building manager for 519 Forest Parkway and 521 Forest Parkway. I just wanted to speak about a sound permit that, am I able to say his name? Jason Cantrell has obtained. He's been a disturbance to the businesses in the Shady Oaks Parkway. And I just would like for you guys to be able to look at his permit and just to see that he is not, I guess, going with the ordinance of 11.5.6. That's basically it. Now it's at the point where we feel threatened and we don't feel safe that he's out there. I had a tenant that has moved out because she felt like he was going to do something to her and her child. She is of a Muslim religion, and he said that, well, when he noticed that she did work at the building, he did call her a terrorist on the amplified sound. And he said that a terrorist now works there. He has personally attacked me. He said that because I am a Black woman, most likely I am an entertainer at a strip club of some sort. Anybody that walks down the sidewalk, he basically antagonized. Anybody that comes in our parkway, he says malicious things to. It's basically verbal harassment. So I'm just here just to see if there's any help that we can have from you guys, just to void out the permit, or to at least, I don't know, see if he can give actual notice for the event that he's doing, because in the ordinance, I did see that he's supposed to give actual notice for businesses that are 1,000 feet from the event that he is permitting. We have never got actual notice from him from this year or last year that he got the permit. As well, there's no address on his permit. The one that I did receive from the records department, it was not signed or dated. As well, under the ordinance, it says that no amplified sound can start before 8 a.m. His starts at 7 a.m. So before we even get to work, he's able to be out there. And like I said, it's just a safety issue now. We feel like we have to bring our firearms to work because we don't know when he is basically going to lose it. And that's basically it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's. Okay. Ms. Williams, don't leave. We're gonna have someone talk to you after the meeting. All right, the agenda, has everyone, seen the agenda and is okay with adopting it as is?
So move.
That was Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Mears. Any discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Approval of our regular meeting minutes from May 2nd. Has everyone had the opportunity to review them, and are there any changes to be recommended? If there are none, is there a motion to approve the minutes from May 2nd?
So move.
That's Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Mears. Any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Council approval of the rental inspection program ordinance amendment 22-09. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman Wells. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Gutierrez. Any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez? Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Council approval of the transfer of vacant property 954 Main Street in Forest Park, Georgia. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilman Mears, any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells? And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Item 6, council approval to repair the Tower 1 pump. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So move.
That was Councilman Antoine. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Wells, any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Item 7, council approval of American Rescue Fund line item reallocation. Is there a motion to approve this item?
Yes. So moved.
Okay, that was Councilwoman Wells, an enthusiastic yes. Is there a second? That was Councilman Gutierrez. Any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Council approval on hosted voice operating IP phone solutions. Is there a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
That was Councilwoman Wells. Is there a second?
Second.
That was Councilman Gutierrez. Any further discussion? Councilman Antoine?
Yes.
Councilman Gutierrez?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wells?
Yes.
And Councilman Mears?
Yes.
Thank you. Closing comments by the governing body. Councilman Antoine? You have the floor.
Thank everybody for coming. Continue spreading the good work that Forest Park is doing. God bless you all. And remember that booze, Antoine, what? Loves you guys. Thank you, guys.
Councilman Gutierrez.
Yes, thank you, everybody, for coming out again. I am excited about, our city just embracing our culture and, having a proclamation for that month. Also, shout out to our seniors. Congratulations to them. In celebration of the month, our city is having our first Asian Heritage Festival on the 28th. And it'll be at our Star Park. We've been working with some local businesses just to make sure that, we respect everybody and we're as inclusive as possible. Up here in the council, we're not experts in those type of events, so we're making sure that everybody is respected. So make sure to come out. It'll be from 12 to 5. This next month, we'll be resuming at Food Truck Friday. It'll be the first Friday of the month, and we will also have the cleanup the next Saturday. Typically, I would be more excited, but I have been bamboozled into doing summer school, so I will be the month of June sweating in North Atlanta. So it's okay. It's for the good. It's for the children. So So we'll do that. Thank you everybody for coming out again. We had an amazing retreat with the boards of your city. So you should be very excited that we all got in conjunction and we're able to get everybody there and discuss some of the future projects, visions and ideas that we have moving forward. So this is the first step with that property being moved to the DDA, the Carter's Cleaner. So, be on the lookout for that. Thank you, everybody, again, and, feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wells.
Yes, I would like to send my condolences out to two Forest Park residents. One being Miss Annie Jones, who passed away. She's been a 30+ year resident in the city of Forest Park, and a frequent visitor of our senior center. Her funeral was on Saturday, and I attended her funeral with Mr. Willie, who's no longer our coordinator, but he sung at that funeral, and oh my God, like it was absolutely amazing. So I want to send my condolences to the Jones family and also to Rakeed Render's family. Keith passed away on Friday, the 13th. Everything is being worked out with his family as far as when his services will be held, but he was one of the first entertainers to really put Forest Park, Georgia, on the map. He grew up here. He was just at the height of his career, and he tragically passed away on Friday at the age of 24 from liver and kidney failure. So his family is trying to get his remains here. He was in California when he passed away. His brother was with him. So the arrangements are being made now, and so I'll keep everyone informed on that, and hopefully the city can do something, because he did give a lot to the community. He grew up here, he gave back to school drives, Christmas giveaways for the kids, and he was just really a great guy in the city of Forest Park. And so I would just want us to do something in remembrance of him. June the 9th, we're having a community meeting with the people who initially started, which was Rosetown Day, a long time ago, and long before I was on the city council. They initiated Rosetown Day, which later became Forest Park Day, and the community planned this event, and the community was very much involved. And so they've asked to have another meeting. So on June the 9th at 6:30 p.m., we will meet in Star Park so that the community we can hear their voices about what they want, because it's their community. And so I want to make sure that they are part of the planning process and what we do, and make sure everyone feels included in this day, because it's a day for everyone. And on June 17th, our first Fun Friday will be held at Star Park at 7 p.m. And so, and 5/19 on this Thursday, Ward 4 Town Hall meeting at 696 Main Street, 6 p.m. So if you live in Ward 4, or if you just want to come and participate, and you know some issues that are going on in Ward 4, somebody that need to be nominated for Keep Ward 4 Beautiful, or a business, anyone having any questions or concerns, please feel free to come to the meeting on Thursday at 6 p.m. Thank you all so much, and have a blessed night.
Thank you, Councilman Mears.
I also want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, and let you remind you that you have to come and take care of your business. We work for you, and if you don't come and guide us, then we go crazy. But I'd like to thank the Public Works Department, because I seen a monster in my street today. I didn't recognize what it was, but it looked like a street sweeper. So I think they got it running. Got all the dogs crazy and everything in the neighborhood, but I'm glad to see that we're getting our equipment back up to par, and I'm glad that we're going to get the fire truck fixed, because we need a big boy out there when we have these big fires. Forest Park's not a small city anymore, and sometimes you have to fight fire from the sky. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Tomorrow is midterm
Talking to your
election. Tomorrow's a big day, everybody. Everybody knows that there's midterms tomorrow. So I encourage everybody to go out to vote. Shout out to Ms. Brown for helping us all have brand new shoes. I think that was very important of her doing that. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Well, the midterms is next week, but voting is going on now. This is a county ran election. So I think the closest voting location is Marl City Hall, 1500 Marl Road. And I will say, I do know in order for there to be a polling location for the November election in Forest Park, they need people to run the polling site. And so I spoke with someone on the elections board, and she said that if we could get about 10 people to man a site, then the chances look really good for the November election that we can get a location open here at Forest Park. I think she mentioned the library, but so if you know of anyone who would be interested, I would encourage them to reach out to the elections board so we can make that happen. And I will say with Lil Keed, I think that's how you say it. Yes, I did have the opportunity to meet him maybe 1 or 2 years ago. We did give him a proclamation. And so if we want to re-deliver the proclamation to his family during the service, his service, that definitely would be awesome. My daughter spoke extremely highly of him, and he, after meeting him, he was a pretty outstanding young man. So that would be awesome if we could do that. This Saturday is going to be a busy day in the city. Walking with the Mayor is at 9 a.m. Then we have the senior caravan, followed by the Forest Park inaugural community day, which is for all schools in Forest Park and just the community in general. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and a lot of fun and a lot of fun. So I hope you all can come on out and support. I don't think I have anything else. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Yes, ma'am. Second.
This is a record.
Second. Second.